What's going on, everyone? I'm your buddy Bear here, and in today's video we have a lesson in humility. And this lesson comes in the form of a UFC fighter fighting a 200-0 Street Fighter. Now you might be thinking to yourself, if you're the kind of person who has to go around saying you have 200 victories in the rough and tough streets of the world with absolutely no losses, you're probably not gonna have a good time walking into an MMA gym. But one unfortunate soul on this day decided he wanted to be 201, with his first official loss coming at the hand of UFC fighter Chris Curtis. So let's go ahead and take a look at what happens in this video, and hopefully we learned something today. Certainly this guy did. Ooh. Okay, so we see right here in the first opening seconds of this video that Chris is just playing with this man. That kick could have sent him to the afterlife. But this helps us establish two things. Number one being, he's not taking this very serious at all. In fact, he's having a good time with it. Now, I'm not saying he's taking it very easy on this guy, but he's certainly not destroying him the way he absolutely could. He certainly recognizes that the guy's 200-0 record doesn't exist. Oh, we have Sean Strickland in this.
What's the story on this guy, Sean?
He hit the coach and said he had like 200 street fights and like he's gonna fuck a lot of guys up.
So that's where we got the 200 fights from. He claims to have 200 street fights to the coach, obviously got an invite, and that's the man they put him with. To be fair, it could have been Sean Strickland, and we all know how that would have gone. This video would have been a lesson in hiding bodies instead of humility. Next, we look at this guy's form. It very clearly, even if he had zero training, it very clearly shows that he has not had 200 fights where he's either protecting himself or fighting off other people, because there's absolutely no movement. He's standing right in front of his guy. That's just thing number one. Number two, there's no defensive capabilities. His hands are down, they're low, or the elbows are open, which is exactly why we saw that clean body kick land. He was just woefully unprepared. And a man who has 200 street fights and bragging about it to an MMA coach might have wanted to take a little more consideration into his prep before he actually, got to the cage. But we still see Mr. Curtis not pressing the attack. He's not trying to hurt this man, and this becomes very, very important later on. So obviously he wanted to get out of it. He was done. He was in pain. He did not want to continue, but he made the claims. He showed up. They gave him certainly not an easy fight, but not the worst fight they could have given him. They want him to finish this round. It's a little bit of a brutal mentality. It's definitely not in this dude's favor, but you know what? You shouldn't have made the claims and then try to come and back it up.
You're in the wrong gym.
Yeah, I'll say wrong gym. Ooh, didn't see what happened there, but I think it might have been a leg kick. Every punch, every kick, everything's pulled. He is not trying to put this man down, more so put him in his place. And I think that's really important, tying this back to our whole topic of humility. Whereas his opponent thought he could come in here, show off, and think he would handle against the UFC fighter very well, the actual competitor understands, hey, I have nothing to prove here. I don't need to put this guy in the grave. He tried to stop. Again, he tried to take the gloves off, tell Chris he was done, and all you hear from the coach is score your takedowns. Score your takedowns. Get your work in. If this guy's going to be a standing target, a sitting target, not do anything, use him like one. I think the coach honestly took more offense to his claims than the fighters did. And I can get that absolutely. Because when you come up into a gym, when you call them up and you say, hey, I'm 200-0, I can take out any fighter you have in there no matter what, you're not insulting the competitors. Well, it sounds like it, you're not. That's their coach. That's the guy who spends day in and day out training these guys to fight at the highest level. You're insulting him. You're claiming his teachings are not good enough that his fighters can possibly beat whoever the hell you are. So I kind of get it. I don't know who's giving that guy advice about get out of there and move, or maybe he's trying to tell Curtis, even though I couldn't imagine why. He's in a very dominant position and, well, dropping some bombs. But it's not like he's going to utilize it. He doesn't know what that means. He has not had these fights if it wasn't already made blatantly clear to everyone involved. That note is perfectly placed. He is not destroying this guy. He could be wailing on him. We can hear someone yelling out knees to the body, knees to the body. He could be doing that, but he's not. He is being so gentle with this man. It's unnecessary to obliterate someone who has no idea what they're doing, even if they thought they could. I don't know what the hell is going through this guy's head. Wow, I'm actually shocked. That was a blatant refusal to follow direction on knees to the body. It's kind of interesting. When you get into a gym and you have a coach, you tend to follow them blindly. Not blindly, but you follow them to the letter. You trust their judgment instinct. And I'm not saying that he doesn't trust his coach, but he, in that moment, made a very individual decision to say, I am not going to inflict unnecessary damage on this guy. And again, that ties back to humility and becomes so important towards the end of this clip. A little bit of a speed up here. Just, yeah, well done by now. And now we've come to the biggest example, the biggest point, the biggest exclamation mark of this video. The man post-match said that he could have knocked Curtis out. What does Curtis have to say about that?
I'm offended. So no, bro, come on. Put your fucking glove on or leave. Take your pick. Put your fucking glove on or leave.
Put your effing gloves on or leave. This is where the video shifts, and it goes from where Curtis was not trying to hurt this man. He just wanted him to get that he didn't know what he was talking about when he showed up, to now he's like, should have done knees to the body. Should have done knees to the body. He has shown a distinct, severe lack of humility, and Curtis no longer feels the need to hold back.
Is he your dad? Hey, he's the coach. He said put the glove on.
He's the coach. He said put the gloves on. What was once a potential learning experience is now quickly turning into a crime scene. I also think it's kind of funny that you can hear Sean Strickland in the back a little bit right now and later on in the clip, how he's kind of the voice of reason throughout this whole thing. That's scary when Sean's the voice of reason.
Fuck that. I was kind to you. I could have fucking ripped you in half.
I could have effing ripped you in half. Understatement of the century, but it speaks a lot. He was thinking about it during that match. He thought of everything he could have done, every movement he did on the guy, every opportunity that was there, everything the guy did wrong. He was in the moment, contemplating it all and saying, nah, don't need to do it. The guy is having a rough enough time right now, and I think he'll get it when the round's over. And then there's Sean. He hasn't signed the waiver yet. Again, this is not a good sign. That is a red banner. That is a red banner when Sean is trying to hold someone else back.
You know why I went first? But he's right, though. You know why? No. You know why I fucking went? You know why I went first, bro? Because everyone else here would have fucked your life up. I was so you see how talk shit about me?
I didn't say nothing from that guy, and Curtis is saying I went first because everyone else would have effed your life up. Here's what I think happened, because the video did not describe this, but I'm gonna go and make an assumption here. More than likely, round ended, they got up, probably exchanged some kind of pleasantry, a handshake, a hug, whatever. Maybe he said, hey, hope you learned your lesson. He walks out. The other guy is butthurt. Typically, people who feel the need to brag about their street fight victories are very easily triggered. And so he took a step back, or maybe he turned around or lowered his voice and said, hey, Mick, well, I could have knocked you out. But he didn't prepare for either Curtis to hear that or someone to tell him that who overheard it when it was said.
You can sleep me. Prove it right now. No. You're saying it's cardio? You're saying it's a cardio issue? You're saying, bro, right now, I will fucking change your life forever.
Look at the expressions on the guy's face. You can see Sean's and this other gentleman here both have smiles. Sean turns around and talks to the other guy for a minute, but they're both kind of laughing at the situation, but it's not a funny situation. They are scared. And they are scared knowing that if they were not there to stop this fight from happening, the guy would already be on the ground. He would have already been dropped. That said, he is being slightly humorous in the things he has to say. I think he's also trying to be sarcastic and clever while he's in his rage mode. Or maybe that's just how he naturally is. I don't know this guy very well. But his wording, like, I will change your life forever. Very true. Physically speaking, he would ruin that man, the rest of whatever life that man has. Breathing through a straw, looking like he went in through a wood chipper head first. It will not end well. Or sorry, it would not end well. Not will. It didn't happen.
My God, you put a glove on right now, you will leave this place forever different.
My guy, if you put a glove on right now, you will leave this place forever different. A funny enough line, but a very frightening thing to hear from a UFC fighter.
I swear to fucking God. I swear to fucking God, you leave this place forever fucking different. He's gonna be real retarded. I was trying to think of a simple jab real quick.
And that's where it cuts out right there. For his sake, the coach escorted him out, and the last thing we really hear is Sean saying, the guy said sorry. Ooh, honest to God, that was just a lot to take in. So let's run a quick recap. The guy calls and says he has 200 fights. Coach probably said, sure, bro. Come into the gym. Shows up. Chris steps in first to put an end to it real quick, show the guy he doesn't know what he's talking about. It ends amicably. Curtis leaves. The guy says something under his breath. I'm making that assumption, but it's most likely what happened. I highly doubt he shouted it out. Curtis whips around and he has lost all empathy for this man. He is ready to change his life forever. But everyone else in the scene recognizes that if this man puts the gloves back on and gets back in the cage, it's the end of his life, or the end of his reasonably happy life. Whatever he's experienced thus far is going to drastically alter if he does it again with Mr. Curtis. So everyone's kind of protecting him now. You got guys like Sean Strickland, the coach, they're all trying to make sure that he gets out of there, you know, safe. So what we really learned here from this today was, if you don't know what you're talking about, and you don't have the experience to back up your claims on top of that, you need to exercise some humility. Otherwise, your life's going to be changed forever. All right, everyone, that's all the time we have for today. If you enjoyed the content, please remember to leave a like, comment, and of course, subscribe for more. You can also hit that bell down below to let you know when I post new videos. That way you get every new video when it comes out. I didn't have a different way of wording that. I just repeated myself twice, but you get the point. It's exciting. Also, if you like, you can go to my TikTok and you can actually subscribe to my TikTok page. And being a subscriber opens you up to having new titles, emotes, and subscriber-only live streams where you are the only people who get to actually type a comment and have a conversation with me, if you want to. Sometimes it's not even about MMA. Sometimes it's about Star Wars. If that interests you, that's the way to go. And of course, all the money you send, all the proceeds go to Free MMA to continue to support the nonprofit and continue to teach everybody in the world martial arts for no cost. And with that said, please, as always, eat well, sleep well, train hard, and I'll catch y'all next time. Have a good day.